Please, Lord Miyazaki, have mercy on us. We have been waiting for Elden Ring for almost the past 2 years and no Sekiro DLC. Please release Bloodborne 2 and Dark Souls 4. Hey guys, this is awkward. I wasn't praying. How about in this video we talk about how to Sekiro, huh? 10 advanced tips and secrets. The Sekiro guide that should have been posted 2 years ago, but I didn't want to spoil the fun. No spoilers. Yes, Sekiro is a rhythm game. Leave me alone so I can keep talking, Jinichiro. Thank you. Meaning that every time I attack, I already know what the pattern is gonna be next, so I can continue the attacks and keep pushing and deflecting perfectly. Now, you might be wondering, well, that's easy for you because you already know the patterns, so how? The question is how I already know what's gonna happen, right? So let me show you. Before fighting each boss, what I will do, even though I die, I don't care. I'll just stand still, like see? That's 2 attack. And then I just block like this to remember the sound pattern. Tang, tang, tang. See? That's another one. I already know 2. So next time I'm facing the boss, I already know what to do. Obviously, you have to like keep getting different patterns like this one. Tan 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 tan. See, I knew that one because I had already blocked and understood those patterns. So that's what I mean by Sekiro is a rhythm game, and that's all there is about Sekiro. At the beginning of the fight is also pretty important just to take a little bit of health, right? Otherwise, the fight will take forever. That'll slow the process for the boss to recover the posture, right? So you can perform that death blow. Let's get into tip number 2, and I'll be right back. Greedy never gets, meaning I hit only twice when I'm close, see? And when I'm far away, I hit 3 times, see? And then I know what's gonna happen next. Always. So I never get greedy about R1. Never R1 spam in this game or any From Software game. You will immediately die, right? So that's tip number 2. Now let's talk about tip number 3. Okay, well, Jinichiro keeps getting salty about the tutorial. I'm gonna be talking about number 3. Find a deflection loop. Works for any boss or enemy. Meaning 2, I keep pushing, always pushing. Remember, it's always about the deflection, not the HP, see? And I keep the loop going, and as you can see, the freaking patterns look like I'm doing the patterns all over and over. Like just a few changes from other patterns that you will have to remember, of course. It's normal to die in this game, it's okay. The problem is not learning the patterns, because if you don't learn the patterns, then you're gonna stand there forever and maybe find a lucky shot. You know, like die 200 times when you could have wasted only like 20-30 deaths and then learn the patterns properly. So while I win here and Jinichiro cuts my hand because he's a cheater, and we are back with our trainer here, the immortal friend. We're gonna be talking about if you deflect, posture never breaks. This is blocking. Look at my posture below. It's about to get broken, right? And that's it. So it's broken. Now what happens if I deflect instead? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna block again, and the last one I'm gonna deflect, and you can see that it will not be broken this time. See? And look how it's filled, completely filled. But the deflection sound, it's different, right? See? It's different. It's a clear cling with a lot of sparks. But if I stand still, or even if I spam like this, see? It doesn't do the same sound, the cling, and my posture gets broken. So as long as you perfectly deflect, parry, that's what it means in this game. Your posture will never be broken. Okay? tip number 5. Alright, so for tip number 5, I'm gonna be talking about posture recovery, something that not a lot of people know. In this game, you will get your posture filled. See? Now, if you just keep walking, right, it will recover faster. But even faster if you do this right here. Let me show you right here. See? If right after your posture is about like almost filled, you stand still and just hold your katana like this, your Kusabimaru like this, it will feel faster. So that's something you can do in the fights. Alright? Now let's talk about tip number 6. Okay guys, so for the emblems with the skills, there are some skills here that, as you can see, don't require emblems, and there are some other skills that they do require the emblems. But you can use the skills even without the emblems. The only issue is that you will deal less damage, which is not a big of a deal sometimes if you're just trying to get the HP from the boss gone. See, my emblems are gone. Now look at what happens if I do the same combo again. I can still use the same skill, the animation won't be the same, and the attack will be less. Alright, so for tip number 7, we're gonna be talking about secret prosthetic combos that are not in the game explicit, but that you can find by yourself. This actually took me some time to figure it out. One day I was just playing and I noticed this. So Sabimaru, you can read 2 combos, the R2 spam and the R2 R1, meaning that this is the combo that you will do and this is the other one. That's it, right? Unless you do some testing, because Sekiro has some hiding mechanics in all of the games pretty much. I mean, from software. Even in Bloodborne there's some hiding mechanics. So R2 or 1, R2, look at that one. It's completely different. Ends with the thrust attack. Now what happens if I actually do a follow-up R2, R2, R2 after that one? Look at that animation right there. Completely different. The game doesn't tell you this. So that combo that you saw was R2, R1, R2, 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 R2. Now, what if I do a jump attack in R2, R2? You will see that sort of spinny attack. And the ultimate combo will be actually like jumping, doing that one, and then R2, R1, R2, 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 and R1. See? Our last one R1 at the end. Now, a lot of combos that actually were not even put here. So not all of the prosthetics have those hidden mechanics. Most of them don't actually, but there's some of them that do. So I'm not gonna spoil anything for you. You go ahead and test it out based on what you saw, and maybe you can find some other hidden mechanics. Now let's talk about tip number 8. And we are back with our favorite mini boss, Chain Ogre. We're gonna be talking about combining skills and prosthetics and even items, because there's some top secret items that you can use with the prosthetics, such as this one that I'm about to showcase right now. This is the upgraded version, as you can see on the right side of the Miss Raven. This one, if you press R2 when you get hit, it will create an explosion. So our chicken here is gonna help us out with this. As you can see, I got hit and now I can do the explosion. But what if you actually don't want to get hit, or you don't want to time that hit for the explosion to happen? Stay there, chicken, don't die there. Thank you. Now, what you can do is to use this contact medicine and poison yourself. This is one of the hints that you get in the game. Some shinobi also use this medicine for a specific technique. Poison is said to expand the mind at the very bottom of the paragraph. So Since I'm being poisoned, I now can spam R2 and dodge, and I will create multiple explosions which look beautifully. See? And this only happens if you're poisoned by the contact medicine. So, I can go now and cook my friend the chicken right there without any issues. Well, I failed there, no big, I can go back. But you get the idea. I can just keep doing that even though if I don't get hit, see? And he's dead, and he's not even hitting me. Now I'm gonna be talking about another one that is actually pretty self-explanatory. A lot of people know it, but some people don't, so I'm gonna do it either way. This one is about the actual combination of the flame vent with all of the skills pretty much that use the Kozabimaru. In this one right here, you do a backstab death blow. This is the most overpowered one, and you will also buff your Kozabimaru, meaning your katana or sword, name it whatever, right? So that one, if you use the skills that have a sword, you will deal an insane amount of damage. So just as an explanation, this one is actually the one that works really well with Chain Ogre because he's weak to fire. I'm just gonna get the first death blow right here, and I'm gonna go do the first death blow and then do the showcase about what I'm saying. Oh, death blow please, help me out, Miyazaki. Mia. Okay, it never works. I actually love that this happens when you're doing a speed runs. It's pretty crazy. But anyway, here you go. See, now I can do the combat art with that move, and you can combine this. You can even do two, as long as your buff doesn't go away, right? So that's how it works. Explanation is over. Let's move to tip number 9. Before we move into tip number 9, I'm gonna be talking about the other item that you can combine, but this time will be with a skill. So there's only 2 items. We already used the contact medicine with the Miss Raven, and this one is another hidden one, that is the Divine Confetti versus sorry, with the anti-air death blow. This is a skill that if you jump in the air, and another enemy will jump, you can do the death blow. However, if you don't use Divine Confetti for the Chichimen warrior, it will not work. So I'm just gonna throw this right here so he can jump. It has to be the purple one, otherwise it will not work for this guy. And then when he jumps, there you go, and that's the anti-air death blow with the Divine Confetti, so you can kill him easy. Cool jump, huh? I'll show you how to do it in a bit. Let's talk about the Demon Bell. I still remember the first day that I came here, the bell said do not ring this bell. I obviously rang the bell right away. Little I knew that my game will be cursed, and that the enemies will get stronger, and that they will regen the posture faster. Now this is actually not that bad because the enemies will give you more loot, more drop items, which is pretty useful within the game. Now, if you are not into this type of challenges, then what you can do is pop the Bell Demon and it will disappear. The burden will be dispelled. This is only for enemies, it does not apply for bosses. I've tested this, so don't worry about the bosses. Yes, the jump. This one is a little bit different, more secret. All you have to do is that as soon as you bounce here like this, while you make the initial X jump, you want to let go the analog stick in the air, and then when you do the second X for the second jump, you want to press immediately the left analog stick in the opposite direction. So what exactly is no Kuro's charm? See that charm that pops on my right? That's a charm that you will get every time you go new game or new game plus. How to get rid of it and why would you get rid of it? Let's move to Kuro's tower and explain you why. And now that we're here at Kuro's prison break, we're gonna speak to our friend. Long story short, he will tell you, Wolf, don't be a masochistic bastard, keep the charm, it protects you. Of course we will insist, because we love dying in the game. And now brace yourself to buy the most expensive anti-hair loss lotion, because there are no tips for charmless. So what exactly is the effect of the no Kuro charm? Again, it means that you will have to deflect everything perfect, otherwise your health will be taken down. So I'm gonna do a perfect deflection now, and you can see that my health wasn't taken down. But what if I do this? Please don't do this again. Embarrassing. As you can see, my posture gets broken within 2 hits and my health gets cut. So this is the actual true hard mode of Sekiro. It is not only this, the mini bosses, the bosses will have more HP, they will hit you harder, they will have faster posture regen, while yours is gonna take longer to regen. And also if they inflict any of the burning status poison, it will be faster. So pretty much this is the one that you want to use if you are into challenges. But what if you want to take the charm back? All you have to do is to talk to the sculpture and select avoid additional hardships, and he will tell you that this decision cannot be undone until the next new game clause. If you click yes, then he will give you the charm back, and now the game will be in easy journalist mode. One of the most common things that happens when you try to find help on the internet, it's the good old Git Good. Believe it or not, this term, even though it's clearly a joke, it has its own deep lore meaning. What's the meaning of Git Good either way? So Git Good means learn the game mechanics, grind, embrace death, don't worry about it, it's just a game, right? Well, guess what? I actually get salty. Not always, only sometimes, but it's just normal. It's part of it. Embrace death again. If you're doing a challenge run, or if you're a casual player and you're dying all over and over to the same boss and you just can't get enough of the boss, bonus tip, listen to some music, chill, have fun, and believe me, it'll make things a lot easier. Sometimes when you're fighting the same boss all over and over, you just need a break from the freaking OST playing again and again and again. So yeah, that's about the guide. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and if you're new to the channel, feel free to leave a like and subscribe, share with your family, with your dog, with your cat, with your neighbor, and see you in the next one. Also, feel free to leave a comment about maybe a tip that I didn't cover on this video, and also if you guys want me to do another video like this in the future. See you in the next one.